Alright, this is the tier list for how difficult I think each mission will be for the Nightmare Max Achievements run. To start off, we have Dark Whispers. Okay, here's the thing. Originally, I had recorded this before I had done any of the missions. However, I've done the first few missions, but I thought I had recorded them. Apparently I forgot to though, so I will be sticking the first 3 prologue missions in the easy category. So the only difficult part of Dark Whispers is you can technically mess this up, but you have to destroy all Zerg structures before freeing all captive Protoss. The final objective is the last piece of captive Protoss, so it's really just before finishing the mission. This achievement I wasn't sure about. Like, I thought it could be quite difficult, and I also thought it could actually be doable. After further testing, it is very much doable. I'm not sure I should be putting it in easy still. It's the hardest of these 3 missions by a significant degree, so I'll keep it in doable, but just know that I have actually beaten all 3 of these missions with all the achievements. Videos will be coming later for that, when I actually have them recorded this time. For Ire, I tried this one. I think it might be technically possible, whereas last time I tried to rate this, I put it in impossible. Ghost in the Fog, why? Yeah, so I'm just gonna skip over the prologue. Like, so you get this if you play it normally. Clear all nexuses just means you need to clear a bit more of the last base than I normally do. And the 10th anniversary is no robotics or stardate, which I don't build anyways when I'm playing the mission, so it's actually not an extra difficulty modifier there. Evil Awoken, 13 minutes. It's not to beat the mission, it's just to destroy the Void Catalyst. This is tight. You may have to play it a few times to get it down, but it's not something you really have to grind out. There is a bug. You have to not lose any units before destroying the Void Catalyst. From what I can tell, the Void Catalyst counts as an allied unit, and so when you kill it, you get 1 kill or something in a cutscene, because every time I killed the Void Catalyst, I suddenly had 1 unit dead, and if I just did What's Best in Life before that, I didn't. So, yep, and this you should just be getting anyways. Yeah, for Ire, I have this little R here saying, like, I should replay it because I think I could do better. But my micro is not up to par. I think it's potentially possible to get all of them. I'm gonna leave it in the impossible category for now, though, actually. So, the 2 things you have to worry about are less than 25 units lost and beat everything in 10 minutes. That's not very doable. The best I've gotten so far was around 14 minutes. But when I tried to play the mission, my micro was so bad, I lost 5 stalkers in the first section, which is just not it. The Growing Shadow, you should be training 20 units anyways, so that's not actually difficult. All mineral and gas pickups are removed, so guess what? You collected all of them that were there. So it's really just the Mastery and the 10th anniversary. Destroy Zerg hatchery or lair within 6 minutes of acquiring your base is not difficult at all. It's a freebie. The only difficult one is locate all 3 void pylons. So I'd stick it in easy. Again, this is easy based on, like, it being Nightmare, not based on we'll put it in technically possible. But we'll stick it in easy because it is not too bad, though you may, again, have to play the mission a couple of times to get it down. Spear of Adun, straight up to impossible. So warp in 5 units within 10 seconds, that's a freebie. activate all the power cells in less than 15 minutes is doable. That one you can beat. And the 10th anniversary, do it without losing a structure. You can do that as well, though obviously it does make things harder because you have to defend more, so you don't lose a gateway or like fan-in or something on defense. The mastery is destroy all enemy structures, which is not... it's just not possible. My best clear time of destroying all enemy structures was 36 minutes. So we would need to beat that in 15. I'm not sure how that would be possible at all. So unless somebody has some crazy strat that just allows you to clobber the bases, even then, like, even if the AI were disabled, it's just a sheer DPS thing. Sky Shield. Gonna move it straight to technically, and then I'll read the actual achievements. Secure 2 stabilizers within 3 minutes. Secure 3 stabilizers within 80 seconds. Yeah. Don't let the timer go below 4 minutes. Kill 40 units. Alright. So the 10th is whatever. So the problem is these two combined means what we want to be doing is pre-clearing 3 stabilizers, pretty much. And then, as we clear each one, all we have to do is fight the reinforcements. Problem with that is, we can't let the timer go below 4 minutes. So, I'm going to stick it into impossible. I would guess that this one maybe is doable. So, I'll have to see more. Brothers in Arms. I'll go technically possible. So you can come here with DTs, which allows you to complete the 10th anniversary. The only problem there is you don't have immortals to fight the hybrid behemoth. You do have dragoons though, which are pretty decent DPS. So the really difficult thing here is not letting allies lose base structures. It's a weird term. I presume that just means structures, like normally. Which I think on Nightmare is ridiculous, because often the AI will just not be able to defend its structures. It also means we can't ever use our allies to kind of stall the hybrid attack waves. And destroy 80 or more enemies affected by disruption is easy. It's the mastery that really gets us. The 55 structures it's a very big DPS problem. It's doable with immortals, and I've done it with Nerazim Dark Templar, the Shadow Fury ones. With the Shadow Fury not being available, that's a massive DPS drop for them. And then, since we can't go immortals, we can't do that either. And the hybrid attack waves, we can't stall. We always have to defend them, because otherwise they'll just destroy all the ally structures. I'm gonna put that in impossible, but that one's maybe doable. Amon's Reach. We're gonna give Amon's Reach an easy or doable. I think easy. Maybe it's worse than I think it is. So, free all Protoss launch base before the last Void Thrasher appears. This one is not too bad. All we have to do is just micro the DTs well at the end. The hard part is we have to do a lot of micro while doing that. It puts us on a timer for this mission, but it's not a very strict timer, so I'm just not too concerned about that. The hard ones are, the timer is actually more strict than that. So we can't let the conduit drop below 2,000 life, but we also can't kill any Void Thrashers. And we can only construct probes in Dark Templar, except we can use warp and reinforcements. So we can get like 4 Dragoons out, and 4 Dragoons is enough that we can snipe some detection without having to use Orbital Strike. And then once we've sniped just enough detection without Orbital Strike, we should be fine. We can also have a few Zealots for tanking certain things as well. I don't know. I'll stick it in doable. Maybe it's harder, maybe it's easier. It shouldn't be harder than doable, but it might be a bit easier. Last Stand. I have no idea. Honestly, I suck at this mission. I wasn't even planning to run it, and I'm still not, so unless I get to the end. Pretty much everything's just like kill the Zenith Stones quickly, and then gets to 2.3 billion, and that's it. So, oh. Forbidden Weapon. So, this one, gotta stick in the straight impossible category. We have to beat the mission in less than 11 minutes, and we also have to full clear the map. So, yeah, good luck. I'll ignore everything else. Literally doesn't matter. Temple of Unification. So, this is once again, destroy, clear full map, complete in less than 10 minutes. So, again, nothing to say about it. When we're actually running these, and we're only doing like 4 achievements, it won't be nearly as bad. But nothing I can do about that. This is a no build mission. I'm gonna stick it in easy. I don't remember there being anything difficult. Ooh, maybe. So this is gonna be dependent on that time, because I don't know what time I normally get to the hybrid behemoth, so it's hard for me to judge. So that might be very hard. It might not be. I'm just not sure. Bringer of Oblivion. This one's just finicky, so we have to secure and disable 2 Void Crystals without any assistance from Kerrigan's Swarm. Problem is, I don't know what that means. So do I need to let her swarm die, and then after they've all died out, I can go clear it? Or like are the little Zergling reinforcements that she sends, do those count if they get a hit off? Like, what does that actually mean? In my mind, it's like Kerrigan specifically, her swarm, so when she attacks, if she is alive and attacking when the crystal goes down. If that's what the achievement is, not too bad. So I'm gonna stick this in a maybe. This is like a nothing, this is a nothing. This is a tight timer, and we have to somewhat not fight with her. So it's really just dependent on this, like, what does this mean? Because I don't remember. Steps of the Right. Complete the mission before the 4th Terrazine Fog. So I'm going to state this as technically possible. I don't know how to do it, but like presumably you could go faster than I've done it. My best time right now on Nightmare is like 36 minutes, but that was only like 1 playthrough 2 years after 1 other playthrough, so presumably it can be done faster, but I just don't have enough information about the map to be like, is it doable? Maybe there's more stuff? Oh, yes. Complete the Steps of the Right mission without killing any Tal'Darim forces. Never mind, I forgot about that one. Without losing a structure, without killing any Tal'Darim forces, and the one of Malash's Guardians. But the Terrazine Fog is active. So here's the problem. The first attack wave, you literally have to... Ooh, wait. No, wait, I think I remember. You can use Dark Templar on this mission. So that way you don't have to kill the Tal'Darim forces. But they build up on the map. I'm going to say this is impossible. I think this might be difficult to do even 3 achievements. Or 4 achievements. Rakshir. Destroy 3 Tal'Darim Nexi. That's not difficult at all. Support Alarak 25 units. Not difficult. Complete Rakshir without Alarak ever being pushed back. I think the Void Thrashers can technically push him back even when you're supporting him with units. However, I'm not sure if that counts. So, just because there's actually nothing you can do about that. So, I'm gonna make the executive call that that doesn't make any sense because that's not how the achievement was designed, like mechanic-wise. Maybe that seems arbitrary. Also, you have to beat it in 12 minutes, so impossible. I don't know. Maybe someone disagrees on that ruling, but it's using pretty much the co-op mechanic. From my memory, what it's doing is even if you're supporting Alarak, he gets slowly pushed back while the Void Thrasher's alive. And so the only thing you can do is, like, you can't prevent it, unlike the actual mechanic, which you can always prevent him being pushed back. So it literally just wasn't designed with the fact that the mastery exists. That's crazy, it wasn't designed with achievements in mind. Wow. Unsealing the Past. This is actually, in my mind, one of the hardest missions in the campaign. Maybe I'm just really bad at it, but... So, destroy all Zerglairs before the Megalith reaches the 4th stasis lock. This is a pretty tight timer. And also only probes and Colossus, though we can still use Warp and Reinforcements. And obviously we can use like Orbital Strike and stuff for air. So that's how you're supposed to do it. Problem is, maybe technically possible. I'm not sure I want to put it in totally impossible, but it is kind of a low DPS army, because these are the nerfed Colossus. They do not do nearly as much damage. And we have to clear through a lot of stuff, and we don't have anti-air. Makes pushing into certain areas harder. I don't know. Like, I struggle with this mission normally, so... on Nightmare, not in the base game. Purification. Complete the Purification mission without allowing the Purifier Core Matrix to lose all its shields. This is a redundant achievement because we have to do it without letting it take any damage. This one is doable. Save scum a bit, get up some static defenses, just enough to stall. You should be able to do this one. Activate 2 Purifier Forces within 60 seconds of each other. This one's difficult because it could mean we have to take a few extra attack waves that would normally get killed by Purifier Forces. And we can't do this at the end because we need to kill the hybrid behemoths, and I believe there's like 1 hybrid behemoth in each base. Maybe there's 2? But then also there's an attack wave with hybrid behemoths. This one's just difficult because it's hard to measure. Like, it's hard to tell how many hybrid behemoths I killed unless it's on like the end screen, which quite a few achievements are not. I have to actually rank it though. I think this is a maybe. So it's gonna pretty much depend on that hybrid behemoth, like what's going on there. This is definitely difficult, especially combined with the 10th anniversary, but it's really all just like about this mastery. Templar's Charge, technically possible. So here's the problem. Do we have Arbiters on this mission? If we have Arbiters on this mission, then it's doable. Yep, that's pretty much it. If we have Arbiters, this mission's doable. If we don't have Arbiters, it's like maybe possible. Just maybe. Because you really need ground forces on this mission. You have to fight hybrid behemoths for like the last like lock or whatever. If you do not have something that actually deals damage to hybrid behemoths, I honestly don't know what you're supposed to do. My only thought is if we don't have arbiters, maybe we can use the warp harmonization along with like warping in a pylon, and then just like hope I can warp in enough units to beat the mission. Because there is the nightmare change on this makes your timer for the mission related to your energy on the Spear of Adun. So every time we use energy, we're decreasing the amount of time we have to complete the mission, but we absolutely have to have ground units to actually beat the final sections. So, oh, and also the carrier sucks on this mission, so since we only get, I think, the first 2 bases of mining, we literally won't have enough mining on the map to sustain carriers. So, like, I'm not even sure how to get this achievement, actually, because I don't ever want to build a carrier if we don't have arbiters. So it is a questionable mission. We do have a warp prism, though, don't we? That's right, we don't have a warp prism. Okay, so this mission... I'm going to say, even without arbiters, it's going to be technically possible, but this is going to be the most annoying mission you have ever seen. In fact, maybe not even technically possible, it's maybe. The only question is if it just like takes way too long, and so it's just like becomes painful. If we have arbiters, it's not nearly as bad, but we do technically have a warp prism. So, I guess. Here we go. Templar's Return. I'm gonna stick it in Impossible. Vorzoon's never allowed to take any damage. The problem with that is there's just certain sections I honestly don't know how you get through without Vorzoon taking damage. Maybe someone can find out a way to get this to be possible. This first section, this achievement, not a problem at all. I'm not sure about this one. Maybe the Karak section is worse than I think. I'm not really sure. And then, honestly, I just don't even know how to tell. I'm pretty sure it tells you at the end of the game. If it doesn't, I just have no way of measuring this achievement, so I can't really do it. The Host. This is the most impossible of impossibles. So, first off, we have to complete the mission in 24 minutes. The fastest time I've ever seen was my own clear of this map in 50 minutes. Unless Grant cleared it faster, but even if he did, there's so many balance changes since then, it'd be hard to know if the run's actually valid. Destroy 2 void shards in less than 10 minutes. That's rough. Destroy 2 void shards within 150 seconds. That's also rough. This is another one where it's going to be difficult to get like 4 out of 5, let alone the 5 out of 5, which I think is impossible. This has to be the first void shard, by the way, because the HP scales up so much that the only other possibility is you clear the second and third void shard within 150 seconds of each other. Which, maybe that's better. You like max out army, but the second you're even possibly trying to do this, there's no way that you're able to finish the mission faster. So, yeah. I definitely one where like I don't think there's a solution at all. Like I just don't think it exists. Salvation. Don't lose any allied Protoss Nexi. Use the Spear of Adun to disable 20 units, and without using the Spear of Adun. So, I guess I didn't mention it. Contradictory achievements. If 2 achievements contradict each other, it's a full completion if you can complete like the 4 achievements and just ignoring one of the contradictory. I think this is technically possible, though good luck. Obviously the 10th anniversary is much harder than just use the Spear of Adun. Like, are we serious? So, for the best 4 out of 5, you would ignore this achievement and do the other ones. But, honestly, this mission... I've never completed this mission without the objective literally dying, so unless they just accidentally, like the enemy AI, kind of whoopsied and forgot about the next side. I don't see it happening. Into the Void. Another contradictory achievement. Destroy all void corruption, and also no more than 3 void structures. So can't do those. This one, I'm gonna say 28 minutes. With the nerf time stop and probably a very buffed Narude, I would guess that this is nearly impossible. But I don't know. I don't know the epilogue missions very well, so these ratings may be a little questionable. Essence of Eternity. This is more contradictory. No more than 15. Wait, why is the Mastery in the 10th the same? Well, something's wrong there. I'm pretty sure there's an actual achievement between one of these two. I'll go and fix that. So, I don't know what it is. We'll say it's technically possible. Difficult mission, but yeah, maybe it's something about like killing Void Thrashers or something. I don't know. But this definitely, one of these is supposed to have an actual achievement. Amon's Fall, I'm gonna just stick it in Impossible. I'm pretty sure this mission is impossible, by the way. So destroy 3 Void Crystals within 60 seconds. We can't use a Spire, so we can't really have like a very dense like DPS army. And we have to kill 3 Void Crystals. So I'm just not really sure I can do anything about that. So, yep. Here's the tier list. Once I complete the campaign, I'll try and make another one and just like roughly how difficult that I think doing each achievement was, or like each mission for all of the achievements. And then also I'll have kind of a tier list going throughout this, or a tier list. I'll just pretty much be using tier list, but I'll have a thing going throughout this, like 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 achievements completed on each mission. And so the goal by the end is obviously to get everything to about 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Yeah. Hope this is a fun run, or at least interesting, and good luck, have fun.